So let's start with the basics of the liver, and also let's discuss about liver cirrhosis in this video. So the normal morphology of the liver, it weighs about 1.4 to 1.6 kilos, and the structure of the liver, there are hexagonal plates or lobules. In the center you have the central vein, and on each corner you have the portal triad consisting of the bile duct, portal vein and hepatic artery. So portal vein, hepatic artery, and also the bile duct. Okay, and the central so basically there are three zones of the liver. Okay, so there is a periportal zone here. Periportal, it is nearby the portal triad. Okay, then there is the mid-zonal zone in the in between both, and here you have in the center of the hepatic lobule the centrilobular zone. So this is zone 1, 2 and 3, which corresponds to periportal zone, mid-zonal zone and centrilobular zone respectively. See, the hepatic artery is located within the portal triad, so oxygenated blood is being supplied to the hepatocytes from near zone 1. So if the blood supply is cut off, zone 1 will receive some of the diminished blood supply, but zone 3, the insufficient blood will not be able to diffuse through the hepatocyte till it reaches zone 3. So zone 3 will be more susceptible to ischemic damage, and the most susceptible to toxin induced damage is zone 1, because toxins can easily permeate into zone 1 through the hepatic artery within the portal triad. Okay, so here you can see the portal triad. You can see all these three entities. So this is zone 1, which is nearby periportal, zone 2 mid-zonal zone, and then zone 3, which is near the central vein. Okay, that is the centrilobular zone. So here you can see the basic structure of the liver lobule. They are composed of hexagonal plates. Okay, you have from the central vein hepatocytes which are diverging in rows. Okay, and then at each corner you have the portal triad consisting of the hepatic portal vein, hepatic artery, and also the bile duct. Okay, all of them are interconnected again. So moving on to diseases affecting each zone. The mid-zonal zone is affected by yellow fever, periportal viral hepatitis, and centrilobular you have A, B and C. Okay, so obviously centrilobular zone is affected by ischemia, and periportal by toxins, viral hepatitis. Okay, and so basically the centrilobular zone is damaged by alcohol, A. Again another A for acetaminophen toxicity. Then B, you have Budd-Chiari syndrome. C, chronic venous congestion, and I for ischemia, obviously. Moving on to the microscopic structure of the liver. So you have the sinusoids, right? What are the hepatic sinusoids? You have rows of hepatocytes which are diverging from the central vein, and between these hepatocytes, between these rows of hepatocytes, you have sinusoids which are lined by Kupffer cells. Okay, Kupffer cells are phagocytic cells of the liver. Then in the spaces, what are the spaces of Deci? So they're the spaces located between the sinusoids and the hepatocytes. Okay, so they are the spaces of Deci. What are the characteristic features? Vitamin A is stored in the spaces of Deci. Amyloid is first seen in spaces of Deci, and spaces of Deci have ito cells or stellate cells which are responsible for causing fibrosis and liver cirrhosis. And finally, we have canals of Hering which are present between the individual hepatocytes, and they contain oval cells which are stem cells of the liver. Moving on to cirrhosis of liver. It is end-stage end-stage liver disease. The causes are alcoholic liver disease, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Okay, alcoholic, non-alcoholic. Then you have hepatitis, autoimmune hepatitis, viral, drugs and chemicals, and bile duct disorders, and also metabolic liver disease such as HAW, that's how I like to remember it, A for alpha. So hemochromatosis, and then alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, and Wilson's disease. And cirrhosis is characterized by three things. Okay, what are these three things? First, obviously there is disruption of the liver architecture, and then it is a fibrotic disease, right? So there are bridging fibrous septae, there is fibrosis seen, bridging fibrous septae, and also regenerating parenchymal nodules. Because the nodules are getting damaged, they regenerate. So disruption of the architecture, which leads to regeneration of parenchymal nodules, and also fibrosis, right? So bridging fibrous septae. The types of cirrhosis is based on regenerating nodules. So you have micronodular cirrhosis and macronodular cirrhosis, based on whether they are greater or less than 3 millimeters in size. So micronodular cirrhosis and macro, early alcoholic liver disease, you can see micro, but then if there is too much alcoholic liver damage, then you can see macronodular diseases. The nodules increase in size. And also H is seen in micronodular, whereas A and W are seen in macronodular. And then cirrhosis causes primary biliary cirrhosis, primary, and in Indian childhood cirrhosis, they cause micronodular cirrhosis, whereas drugs and toxins in viral hepatitis cause macronodular cirrhosis. Here you can see small nodules, so this is micronodular, whereas here you can see larger nodules, so it is macronodular. Moving on to the pathogenesis and clinical presentations of cirrhosis. So the hallmark is capillarization of sinusoids. So in the normal liver, the, type 1 and type 3 collagen are present in the periportal and the centrilobular area. Type 4 collagen is present in the spaces of Deci. So what happens in cirrhosis is type 3 collagen comes into the space of Deci. It is normally present in normal liver in the periportal and centrilobular area, and type 4 is present in space of Deci, but type 3 also comes into the space of Deci in cirrhosis, which causes loss of fenestrations of sinusoids. Between the hepatic sinusoids you have certain fenestrations, right? So when type 3 collagen comes there, it kind of seals those fenestrated spaces, so this leads to a capillarization of sinusoids. Okay, there are no fenestrations, it is sealed by entry of type 3 collagen in the space of Deci. So finally, what are the clinical features? So you can see effects of liver cell failure. You can see starting from the head up, you can see coma, you can see factor hepaticus. So breath smells like a freshly opened corpse. You can see spider nevi, gynecomastia because estrogen metabolism is impaired. You can see jaundice, obviously it is a liver affliction. Ascites, obviously loss of sexual hair. Testicular atrophy because of gynecomastia again. And liver flap, there are coarse hand tremors. There is bleeding tendency due to decreased prothrombin. There could be anemia, which could be macrocytic or due to iron deficiency. There is ankle edema, turtle varices, okay, hemorrhoids, and then ascites, again splenomegaly, dilated abdominal veins, caput medusae due to portocaval anastomosis, imbalances or disorders, whatever, so due to portal hypertension. What are the effects of portal hypertension? You can see esophageal varices that could lead to hematemesis, and then melena, gastropathy, splenomegaly, and all this. Okay.